Watch, teaching your kids the importance of money can be pretty tough.
But a new study suggests that if you want them to learn the value of a dollar, then mum's the word. According to this survey, 27% of parents who plan to leave money to their kids said they hesitate to talk to them about the inheritance. Parents said that they don't want their kids to feel entitled to their wealth. A third of them also said they don't want their children to count on the money being there when they pass away. Certified financial planner Joe Bert is here with us for today's Money Monday. Joe, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in today.
Sure.
What do you think about this study? Is it a good idea to keep quiet about your money around the kids?
Well, John, we see it a lot. In fact, they say that parents find it easier to talk to their kids about sex than it is about money. And money, you know, given to kids in the wrong way or letting them they feel they're going to get too much takes away that feeling of success that they might have if they achieve on their own, or they get a feeling of entitlement. What happens oftentimes, if the kids think they're going to get a lot of money, they start spending their own savings, only to be disappointed by finding out that the parents needed to use their money for their long-term health care or had other ideas.
Well, I'm curious about this too. I'm sure every parent has had their child come up and say, hey, how much money do you make? What do you say, Joe? You counsel parents all the time. What do you tell them to say?
John, let me tell you a story. Several years ago, my wife and I were in bed reading, and about my 6-year-old at that time comes in the room, and he looks at us, stands by the bed. He says, do you have a will? And we said, yeah, we do. And I told him where it is. I said, it's in the file cabinet there in the closet. I told him how to get it. And so my wife and I are curious, and he picks out the document. He's lying on the floor on his stomach. Now, you got to picture this, and he's going through it. And I said, what are you doing? He says, I'm looking for my name.
So they know. They know about this stuff.
This is the son that now works with me in the business. He's 36 years old. He's into money. But kids are curious about, you know, what their future is going to be. And when the parents get older, they're curious about how mom and dad are doing. Am I going to be responsible as a child to take care of mom and dad? But by the same token, either parents have failed financially and they don't want to tell their kids how lousy they've done, or if they've accumulated a lot of wealth, they don't want to make the kids feel entitled. It's a very, very difficult situation.
Yeah, and if I were you, I'd watch your back, Joe.
There you go.
You're an adult son now. So what do you do? I mean, if it's time to talk money, is there a certain age? I mean, it's the difference between young kids and adult kids, too. When do you also talk to your adult kids and say, all right, we're planning, here's what you need to know, or do you?
Yeah, what you don't want to do is do it at a time of crisis. Don't do it when you're in your deathbed. Don't do it, you know, then you don't, oftentimes they say do it around the holidays. That's not necessarily the best time to do it either. And you want to give your kids a broad sense of what the situation is. Give them a feeling of confidence that you're going to be okay and they're going to be okay. And if you have some other intentions that may not be part of the family, like charitable contributions, let's say you want to leave a lot of your money to the hospital or your church or your synagogue, the kids need to know that, and they should understand, once again, that they may not be entitled to all the money that you have.
You know, Joe, but I'm sure you also have clients who say they want their kids to know everything about the family finances. Yeah. How does that normally work out from what you've seen?
Well, in fact, in some cases it works out fine. But once again, if the kids know everything and the kids get this feeling of entitlement, I've seen it time and time again, John. People go into retirement, their biggest expense is medical costs. The average cost of a family retiring today at 65 for medical insurance alone is about $220,000. And that does not include long-term health care, which could run $70,000 if you're in a nursing home. So don't necessarily count on all that money if you're the kids.
Well, that's a great point, because if a kid hears mom and dad has, what, $1 million, right, going into retirement, it doesn't mean the kid's going to get $1 million, and they could kind of sit back and say, I'm going to be wealthy one day.
Exactly, and the kids end up spending their own money thinking they're going to get something when mom and dad are gone. It's not necessarily a good idea.
All right, Joe, what's your website in case people want to check you out?
You can Google me. Just Google me, Joe Bert, B-E-R-T.
You show up first.